It is said that a mother's craving during pregnancy becomes her child's favorite food. I do not know if it's a science or a simple coincidence, but certainly true in my family. Welcome to Spices and Aromas. Today I'm going to share with you the Malnad special mutton biryani, which was one of the biggest craving of my mother when she was pregnant with me. Years later, when I was expecting my child, even I found myself craving for the very same biryani, and today it's his favorite as well. Now that I've shared the story behind this special biryani, let's begin the cooking journey. Biryani is not just a recipe, it is an art. Every step matters: the choice of rice, the quantity of ingredients, the cooking vessel, the heat, the timing, and most importantly, patience. Today, I'll be sharing all those little details that make difference between an ordinary biryani and an unforgettable one. So stay tuned till the end of this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for all the updates on my upcoming recipes. I hope you will enjoy this journey. Come along with me. Let's begin the story of biryani that has been loved by 3 generations. For this biryani, I am using bullet rice, which is my preferred choice. You can easily find it in stores like D-Mart or Blinkit. Other excellent options are Jeera Sambar rice, Arvi Katrani rice, Vada Kolam rice, Surti Kolam rice, whatever rice you choose. Remember one important rule: soak it for at least 30 minutes before cooking. This helps the grains to cook evenly and remain fluffy. For this type of biryani, the basmati rice is not preferred. Let's prepare our other ingredients. I have taken 1 bunch of coriander leaves, but since it is quite large, I am using only 75% of it. Along with it, 1 small bunch of mint leaves, 100 grams garlic, 70 grams ginger, small bunch mint leaves, slightly bigger bunch of coriander. Along with that, I have kept aside 2-inch cinnamon and 5 to 6 cloves, 100 grams green chilies. Keep aside half portion of green chilies and some coriander and mint leaves for later use. Grind the garlic, ginger, green chilies separately. While grinding coriander and mint, add few cinnamon sticks and cloves. This adds a beautiful aroma and depth of flavor to this biryani. I have kept aside the whole garam masalas, 2 tablespoons of stone flour, 4 to 5 inches of cinnamon, 16 cloves, 4 green cardamoms, 6 black cardamoms, 2 tablespoons of shajira, and 4 to 5 bay leaves. Now let's start cooking. Always use a thick bottom vessel for biryani. This is my trusted biryani pot. It has been with me for almost 18 years. A good biryani vessel becomes a part of family's food story. And 1/4 cup of refined oil to it, and 500 grams of sliced onions, and keep frying, adding little salt. Meanwhile, in another vessel, I have added 4 to 5 liters of water. This is for the preparing of rice. So for this, I am adding the half of green garam masala that I had kept aside, and the other half of garam masala I am adding to the fried onions. Along with that, I am adding the most important ingredient, and the one ingredient that gives a good flavor to the biryani is the biryani leaf. As the onions continue frying, add the garlic paste. After frying it for a while, add the ginger paste, green chili paste, and finally the coriander mint paste, one after the other. Each ingredient must be fried well until raw smell disappears and its aroma develops. This step is the secret behind a flavorful biryani. You can also add the reserved green chilies while frying the onions, or you can add it now. So this gives a strong flavor. Now add the mutton, followed by 500 grams of tomatoes. For this biryani, the quantity of ingredients is very important. So I will once again share the list of ingredients in the description box. So please save it and follow the same quantity while you're preparing it. Mix all the ingredients so that everything is incorporated well. Then you can add the chopped mint and coriander that we had kept aside before grinding the ingredients, and then add 500 ml of curd. After adding curd, you can add juice of 4 lemons, and if you have some leftover stock from cleaning the mixie, you can also add that, but see that you don't add more than 1 cup. Next, add in 2 teaspoons of chili powder and 4 teaspoons of coriander powder. Give a good mix. Since I am using mutton, I will pressure cook it until tender. If you are making chicken biryani, you can continue cooking directly in the same vessel without pressure cooking. For cooking mutton, I usually take 2 whistles, and after that I simmer for 15 to 20 minutes. So that's the perfect way of cooking mutton. But if you feel the mutton is not cooked, you can further continue it and cook it until it's fully done. Now you can see here the water is ready, and add the rice after draining the water that you had soaked. Here is one of the most important tips in biryani making. Watch the bubbles carefully. So when you see the water bubbling and the rice popping out, so that is the time where the rice is 50% cooked. So it's the perfect time to transfer it to the biryani pot. So if you cook more than 50%, the biryani may become soggy, since you are cooking it again with the biryani masala, and the masala also has the stock. So this is the perfect time to transfer. So you have to see that the rice is 50% cooked, not more than that. So this is one step where most of them confused to get to know the exact consistency of the rice to transfer it to the cooking pot. So when you cook it once or twice, you will make it right. So just follow all the ingredients and follow the step carefully, and most importantly the bubbles what I showed you. So that is the time where you have to transfer it. And now I have mixed up all the rice and the masala, and on top I will pour 1/4 cup of ghee. Cover the vessel with a tight lid. You can seal it with wheat flour, or you can also cover it with a cloth and then keep the lid. So I am just covering it with a lid and placing a heavy stone on that. Cook on lowest flame for 30 minutes, then switch off the flame and let the biryani rest for another 30 minutes. That's 1 full hour of patience. But trust me, this patience is what transfers good biryani into exceptional biryani. And finally, the moment we have been waiting for, as the lid opens, all those flavors, aromas and memories come together. A perfect biryani isn't measured only by its ingredients, it's measured by love, patience and stories that go through in making it. If you have enjoyed this journey with me, do try this recipe, and I will see you soon.